Very good. I'm so proud of you. You learned
Like
that
most
in
moms
one
raising
day.
3
I'm so
kids,
proud.
Ashley has very little time for herself. She's got a college education, works full-time as an online teacher, and also homeschools her daughters. For the most part, she does this all by herself.
Oh, I mean, it's difficult. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's not.
Ashley's a single mom. Her oldest daughters are 14 and 10, but her youngest came along just a couple of years ago. So Ashley turned to Catholic Charities Pregnancy Help Center in Chattanooga, where she attends classes to improve her parenting skills. And in the process, she earns baby bucks that can be used at the Pregnancy Help Center store.
You start raising older children, you have children in their teens and upper grades in middle school, and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't even know how to be a mom to a baby anymore.
Ashley's the type that, yes, she needed the baby bucks. She needed the baby items. But she's also the type that wants to just be the best parent possible.
As a single parent, like I said, funds are limited, and to come in here and to be able to have good quality, things that you're earning is an added bonus.
Being a single mom with 3 young daughters, working and teaching, and squeezing by on a very modest budget can be stressful. The family's had other setbacks, but Catholic Charities of East Tennessee has always been there.
Poor Sherry. She hurt a lot, and just to have that measure of comfort for me was what got me through to the next week a lot of times.
You really get to know them because you see the same client every week, even if you're a volunteer. I have some clients who call their mentor the grandma.
It's just been a blessing. We've had a lot of obstacles the past 2.5 years with moves, and we lost a house to different things, flood and fire and all this, and Sherry's been like a great mentor and advocate through the process, and it's just been a blessing for our family.
It's better to look this way. As you can see right here, this is where they're in the process of hooking up the gas line. It's being tested as we speak.
For Bryant Ellis, that gas line is arriving just in time. This is Bryant's home, until recently an unoccupied and dilapidated trailer that sits just a few yards from his brother's home in Hickson. Bryant lives there now with his service dog, Whiskey, who's as loyal as Bryant is thankful.
This place had been gutted out. It was used basically for storage. There was a working toilet and a garden hose. The electricity was coming as temporary power from next door. Through the wonderful generosity of Chrissy Long from the Home Place and Catholic Charities is where everything began.
Chrissy Longwithy is program director at the Home Place, a shelter for adults who have tested positive for HIV. She led an effort to pull together Chattanooga area retailers, contractors, and other charities to help make Bryant's broken down trailer safe, despite the challenges.
It was temporary power coming from my brothers next door, and there were just a house full of extension cords. It wasn't extremely safe as far as fire-wise, but I kept the cords and the plugs to a minimum.
There were other challenges during this project to make Bryant's home livable. Bryant is a U.S. Army veteran. He served 2 tours of duty in Iraq and suffers from severe post-traumatic stress disorder. During the project to make his trailer livable, Bryant was also diagnosed with lymphoma cancer.
With the blessings of God, I persevered through this with cancer and was able to get this much done. And once again, if it wasn't been for Chrissy Long and Catholic Charities and the other organizations that have been involved, I don't know what would have happened.
Thanks to Catholic Charities of East Tennessee's Office of Immigrant Services, Menser and Deanna Ramick now live a peaceful life in Chattanooga. But 25 years ago, both lived through a civil war that engulfed their Bosnian homeland.
Most everybody that was there while I left, he's here in the United States. Because during the war, our city got ravaged and everybody At one point, we were all refugees.
I was 12 years old and I didn't understand the war. You know, wherever they go, I was going with my mom.
Deanna's mom is a central character in their story. Menser moved to the U.S. 22 years ago. On a trip back to see his family in Bosnia, he met Deanna. They were married and moved back to the U.S. together. That was 9 years ago.
We have a little boy. He's terminally ill. He got diagnosed in 8 months. He was 8 months old. He got diagnosed with mitochondrial disorder, Leigh disease. There's no cure for that. There's nothing. Nobody can help us with that.
It's really rare.
Yes.
They're very strong people. They have fought through their son's illness, but they've stayed in very good spirits. There was a time when Deanna was thinking maybe she had taken too much time off of work, and that she was risking losing her job.
The Ramicks were in urgent need of help. Both had jobs, but the care 3-year-old Dara's needed was specialized and critical. Deanna's mom had been traveling to the U.S. on a visitor's visa, but the visa had limitations. There was no guarantee immigration officials would grant her continued access to see and to care for her grandson.
Part of care is obviously having a nurse or a caretaker, but the other part is emotional. He was very comfortable with his grandmother being there.
Deanna's mom needed a different kind of visa. She needed lawful permanent resident status. Deanna and Menser turned to Senator Bob Corker's office. The senator's staff was willing to expedite the process, but asked Catholic Charities to lead the effort. Something that normally takes at least 2 years took just 4 months.
I was able to then, yes, contact Menser and Deanna to tell them that the visa's approved, you can go pick it up, and you can fly to the United States with your mom.
She's here and I can work. I can go on my job, and now I know my little boy, he's with my mom, and she know how to take care of him. We
have like a peace of mind. We know.
Yes,
she's trained from the birth. She was with us, and she knows how to take care of him.
Well, they're obviously, very excited and very thankful. So it was great to actually hear them say, hey, she's in the United States, everything went through, everything is done. I can't stop advocating until that person is legally admitted into the United States and has their green card in their hand.